be, can't really necessarily call them guilters. They're just people that have different thoughts of the matter. You know, one may think Stephen is guilty and believe Brendan is innocent.
They're invested in the case and have been for 7 months. The drop zone is basically a collection of people who have been around since the very beginning. We've interacted with each other on several different levels, some negative, some positive. We've worked our way through quite a bit. There were a lot of accusations made against Carla that we set them straight on. There were a lot of questions that they had for us. There were people that thought they were guilty that we were able to convince that they were innocent. I mean, these have been people who are invested in the case for 7 months. Basically, and they're in a group, and we call it the drop zone because if anything goes down that needs to be addressed on any dramatic level, it's done there instead of in the group, so that you guys don't have to see it. And that's basically it.
Yeah. Well, and really, there's not a lot of case talk in that group.
No, there's no case talk in that group.
You know, it's just fun some days, and
if new trolls pop up, somebody will warn us about them in the troll group. If we have an issue because somebody said something about somebody behind their back, we bring it to that group. I mean, that's what that group's for. It's to hash out stuff, and that's it. We're not in association with each other. We're not, we're not BFFs. We've developed a level of respect for some of them, as they have for us. But that's all it is. It's just a group.
We understand one another. Like I said, a lot of them had negative thoughts towards me. We laid stuff out on the floor,
and it gets ugly, and you guys don't want to see it, so that's why it's in there.
It's pretty much the drama that we try to keep out of the groups. We, take care of things elsewhere. That's why we always try to keep the groups plain and simple, drama-free. Yes, we let a little bit in here and there, but we'll shut off comments and let it drop down to the bottom. It will be always there.
Strong opinions lead to heated discussions, and so we do it there.
Well, it's kind of funny because I didn't even know about the other groups until after we became part of the admin team.
Me neither.
And
she's like, "Oh my God, I feel like I just found gold."
Yeah, that's what I said.
This group is amazing.
I called Megan and I was like, "Did you know there's like secret groups? There is secret groups." She's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like trying to fill her in because she's like my shoulder to lean on, and so she gets all the stuff from me, and I'm like, "There's secret groups," so I'm trying to fill her in. She's like, "What?"
It was crazy. It was very crazy. And I don't know, I just started on Twitter and Facebook to see what was going on to follow. And then I was like, there's like 50 of them on Facebook. And then who do I follow on Twitter? But then after we did the protest camp out, the last
Am I not?
one, I took myself.
You're looking at the old one.
Because
you got to go back to the new one I started because it
keep
disconnected. Sorry.
Goes overwhelmingly.
It is.
Technical difficulty.
There's so many. I left all at one point, and then I
James, I used to live in San Diego.
Going back.
Yeah.
I'm on the main family one, but I observe.
I have a weak connection right now.
Uh-oh.
Is it this corner?
You're not even in the corner yet, woman.
Better watch it. Mom and Dad know how to put people in the corner.
Uh-oh.
Children.
Who in their rightful mind would hire Kratz? That's funny.
Is there any more questions on your phone, Kev?
Not so much.
You didn't find any good questions? There are a whole bunch of there. There's a Diane on there that has like an unruly amount of questions.
Anyone here from New Jersey? No.
Richard!
Do you have a block on there, Brenda?
She's dying. She needs the block.
What's that? Was that a block?
Here.
That's my DS. Okay,
I have a little bit left in mine, and I'll plug right into the wall.
Yes.
You guys don't even understand how this live video sucks your battery.
Oh, thank you. Here, Carla.
Sorry about that, jostle, guys. I had to plug in. Tars, we're hoping that Stephen will get out before Christmas. That's on the 13th. That's the deadline that we're looking at. Not the deadline. What we want to call it.
That would be nice.
That wasn't ready.
Where is Dieter?
Nobody knows who Dietering is. Nobody knows what he looks like or where he is.
Can you explain what that even is to those of us who don't know?
Dietering?
Yeah, what is that?
He's the
Person.
He's a person.
Calumet County.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is he the one with the phone calls that I showed you about for the protest?
No, that was Uyghur and
Who was it? No, we were in Reimacher.
Remaker.
Yeah.
Okay, who we did meet at one of the
Remaker's the one we saw.
Yes, but didn't I meet? He was the one I met the second protest with.
He did the car searching.
Yes.
That was same last name, different guy. Everyone thought
really?
that was him. That's on him. Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, Carrie, we discussed the road sign. Nobody is aware of whether Stephen wrote that or if it was written by somebody and placed there, because
Road sign.
nobody's thought to, not road sign, sale sign. Yeah, Xander road sign. I'm reading too many things at once. Road sign, thank you. Wah, wah. Nobody knows where that sign came from. I would suspect that Zellner asked him about it. And I don't know what the answer to that is yet. I apologize. Wish I had something, but I know that's a topic of discussion on Reddit right now. It's a big thing because they have been able to link some things to that address. But I would suggest you look at the Reddit posts for more information on that. I haven't read the latest on it, but we're still not certain who wrote it.
Someone asked here, one important question, what will the American people learn from this when Kathleen Zellner, Steve Drizzen, and Laura Nyrider get them out? Well, the thing is
That they're badass?
Yeah. Yeah.
She's gonna be busy. Very busy.
It's not necessarily the American people don't realize that this crap happens, and we know, and we realize that our justice system has a lot of crap that needs to be fixed.
It's sad that it took making a murderer to get it
bring
out.
the awareness. Exactly.
But the sad thing is it's people like us outside of the corrupt system that come together like how we have, one by one, to say this is messed up. But sadly, this is the only way to draw attention to it. You know what I'm saying? And who knows, maybe after these guys are out, we'll go on to the next one. Or, you know, there's a bunch of stuff. But
I think one thing I've learned from this case is that social media is a powerful beast.
oh, wow, yeah.
If a lot of these cases, like there were 149 exonerations in 2005, and I would like to probably attribute that to the amount of crowdsourcing investigating that people do. Once people are aware that there's an injustice, and years ago, you didn't have easy access to this. We were unaware that a lot of people were getting screwed over left and right because that information wasn't readily available.
No, because if you live from other states, how often do you see the local news media that goes on where that happens?
And now, once something happens, it breaks everywhere. It's Twitter, it's social media, it's Twitter, it's Facebook, it's Reddit, it's everywhere. And so,
because a lot of the news media coverage on this, when it took place, it would be nice to be able to go back into their news feed and see how much inaccuracy is in there.
right. So people are getting called in their crap a little bit more because too many eyes are watching.
Right.
So,
How much contact does the family have with Kathleen?
Quite a bit. Well, Kathleen at least talks to Stephen weekly. Well, she skips a week here and there, but she tries to contact him at least once a week. She does talk to the family here and there, not as much, but she still keeps in contact with at least Dolores off and on. But anytime Dolores or Al has a question, they call and she'll call her back. And so Zellner is always there for the family if we need them.
after the couple of times that I've spoken to her and the communications that I've had with her, I have like a vision of who Zellner is. And if anybody has ever watched Dexter, Zellner is an older version of Deb. She is kick-ass, says it like it is. She's tall, she's, skinny, she speaks the same way that Deb does. She seriously reminds me of Deb. So, if you need a visual.
Okay, so someone asked, when Stephen is released, has he said what the first thing he wants to do when he gets out is?
I have no idea. It's a question I guess I gotta ask him.
He sure he daydreams a lot about.
Although he did make a comment the other day when he called me, something about where are we having our party, or what did he say? We had him on speaker that day because Colette and Scott were over.
Oh, funny.
I don't know.
He had mentioned something about renting a field, but where are we gonna have the release party, or something like that? So he's looking forward to it and keeping his
A
hopes
field
up there.
party.
Has anyone asked them what they want to do when they get out?
No, I guess not yet. We'll have
We
to
should.
send
We
Carlos to
should.
you.
Literally, like, it just, you know.
I think the prospect of just being out would,
Yeah.
Actually,
might
I
be.
think one of the first things that Steven's probably going to do is get some good food.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
right?
Because I know
can't
he
imagine.
talks about that from time to time.
When you guys go to the store, do you guys get like a million questions? In the beginning,
Chucky just joined us. Charles, Chuck.
yay!
Oh, what are you doing?
No,
I-
probably the creepiest thing that we had was when we went down to Milwaukee to watch the two lawyers.
Oh, yes.
That was probably the creepiest I've ever felt.
What?
You and the two boys, or what, Daniel?
Oh, yeah.
Because there was so many people that were there and had seen the Netflix show, and they recognized Barb and Carla right away, and it really, I mean, it makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up because you can see people.
Right.
Some people were rude about it, kind of, you know, because they'd be like, they were pointing right at you.
What is it? Me and Barb went to the bathroom for a potty break, and
Yeah.
what? Took us a little while.
Oh
Well,
my gosh.
it took a little longer than normal, and then Scott was sitting not too far from me. He's like, "Well, where are they? They're still in the bathroom."
We need our card.
And we sat there for a little bit longer, and pretty soon I'm like, I'm gonna go check on them.
Not yours.
I mean, you
They
don't
wanna go over in
know.
my pool.
Oh, I'm sorry. Never mind. Can I have my ouch?
They want to go to the neighbor pool.
Sorry. We're trying to
When you go
parent
something
and do
like
this at the
that,
same time.
You don't know if there's gonna be haters there, or if
Yeah.
they're all gonna be, you know.
That's got to be the strangest feeling ever.
It was creepy.
Seriously, I can't even begin to imagine.
When we went out to lunch with Carla and Lisa and Sandy and everyone was there, I kept thinking, okay, I wonder if people are like, oh my god, totally know those people. Because Sandy, I think, I mean, she's unmistakable as being in the documentary. I mean, her hair color changed, but that's literally it. She's just
Right.
the same.
Yeah, that's probably the most uncomfortable I've ever been.
And Christine is stuck with me.
Yeah,
Just
stuck.
read the comment from Rhonda.
Yeah, I love Rhonda.
Has there been
Shout out to Rhonda. Woo!
Has there been any reaction from Kathleen down there regarding the letter Stephen sent to whatever Us Weekly magazine it was?
She did say something, didn't she?
You know, she's not pleased about it, but she understands it. And that's pretty much it. It's really not going to hold any bearing on the investigative work that she's doing in the case. She probably would have liked to have known in advance. But it is what it is, and it's out there. The fact that Jerry Buting has been very public about understanding why he feels that way or why he's lashing out is a great response to it. I don't think it's caused any harm. He must have had some real hardcore feels about it, though, because this is the first time he's, reached out to the media to say anything about it. So,
Michelle just asked if I can talk about my relationship with Steven. I don't know. He's like a second father to me. Sorry, Dad. But when I was younger and stuff, we used to always spend time with him. With his release, we were always spending time over by him. Went north, he came by us for a couple days, and I talked to him throughout the years. I did visit him off and on while he was down in Barnes Noble. After he was transferred and stuff, I believed I was off the list, so I never went to him after that. We rode a couple times off and on over the years. We would talk on the phone off and on.
you probably have to speak up.
Oh,
Yeah.
sensitive up.
I'll get closer.
And then, what else? Now I try to get by him as much as possible, keep him updated. Yeah, I can pretty much tell him everything, talk to him about anything. I try to explain to him social media since he doesn't understand it as much.
That's got to be the strangest concept for him.
either him or Brendan don't understand it.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to remember that.
Technology was
It's been
older
10
back then.
years.
That's
Right.
Look at
if you look at where cell phones have come in the last 10 years. Okay.
computers, phones,
Me and
everything.
Randy
Everything.
are gonna have to.
Right.
I think MySpace was just coming out
It was
when
just,
they were
yeah.
out, when you know. So all of this is going to be new no matter.
Well, and he had like 2 years to get used to cordless phones. I mean, when he went in, you were still strapped to a 3-foot cord to a wall, let alone cell phones and all of these devices, and being able to take, pretty much a small computer with you everywhere you go.
Yeah. But yeah, me and Steven always were close when he was out and about, and there's a
Yeah.
bond that, it's almost like I said, he's like a second father.
There's a lot of people
for
that.
you, for me, he's kind of like another brother.
We do the normal joking around, and yeah, I pretty much will tell him what I think and my opinion of things, and
No.
he'll pretty much.
Oh yeah, the whole family does. That.
I'm more nice about it. I'm not gonna say, you better expect to do this instead of.
There's a few people in the hate camp that have suggested that, that Carla didn't visit these guys up until making a murder, which is ridiculous. There aren't going to be a whole lot of pictures because those pictures cost money. And back before all of this, they had no commissary. They didn't, they couldn't
Well,
pay
the
for
other
those
thing
pictures
is
to be
you gotta
taken.
Remember, you're still raising a family,
Right,
so it's not the easiest to sneak away when you got 3 kids.
right. Well, 3 small kids, now that your kids are older, it's easier. It's easier to bring them with. It's easier,
Yeah. And as for Brendan, we did visit him in Green Bay. He had asked me at one time if it was okay to remove me and Stacy off the list because he wanted to add his brother's girlfriends/wives to the list so that his brothers could come up and visit him more.
That was so that they could get family photos for like Christmas and Thanksgiving.
We had no problem with it.
Yeah.
Like I said, we were more worried about what was better for Brendan. It's his decision with the bigger side of the family.
It's amazing how big that boy has become.
But yeah.
He was a little shit
But-
when he used to stand there.
Now he's got a birthday next month, right? Or November. He's November.
No, I thought he was in October.
October. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's in October.
I'm mental.
Yeah, he is.
Because his favorite color is
Oh
orange.
my God, sorry.
It's the only
And I
way
knew
can
that
remember.
too because Carla just told me that last week.
But yeah.
That's pretty bad. I know.
I got so many freaking dates going through my head lately.
Have you seen the size of this family? He's looking at me like, are you kidding me, lady? I've been around for years.
Sometimes I can't even remember my birthdays. Or at least my age.
Yeah, and dates and everything else that we see online. I'm like seeing all these other dates on.
No, I remember my immediate family's birthdays and my parents and sisters, and that's pretty much the
You're doing
extent.
better than me.
Then I can't.
You gotta ask me on the kids' birthdays some days.
We got somebody unclear about Teresa talking so much about dying. That was a
Oh, the video she
that was
made?
a project.
Yeah.
That was a project, but I still find that kind of creepy.
It's supposedly a project for school, but I've not heard one person from the Teresa camp confirm that. Not, I
Why
shouldn't
would
say
you
camp,
put that
but
in the video then?
yeah, I don't.
Making a murder. Like,
And I never really heard that prior. So I
No.
don't know.
Well, and if you
what
remember
the
when
thing
she
is.
went missing, she was listed as endangered. So that lets you know that she was probably could have been endangered herself because of things that she'd said in the past, or a number
That's a
of
good
reasons.
point. Really, I mean, why would they jump to calling her endangered
Right off the bat.
right up the bat?
I know there's a pool.
I don't know. To me, the whole subject of taping yourself about your death is kind of creepy.
And about the press
Maybe a little
co-
morbid.
the press coverage.
Yeah, a little bit
It's like
morbid.
when this one tells me
There
what
hasn't
song
been
she
too
once played
much
at her
of it.
funeral.
As of lately.
Just
I want Sand and Water
write it down.
by Beth Nielsen Chapman and Dust in the Wind by Kansas.
It's recorded now.
It's official.
But yeah, as of press coverage, there hasn't been too much lately. I think they don't want to make the wrong move and say that he's still guilty in a way, or I don't know. They don't know which way to go with it.
You talking about the local news coverage?
I don't know. It just says what do we think about the press coverage of the case? For 10 years ago, it was all negative. The family, of course, learned their lesson because they edit, they crop, they skip, and they only put what they want to put in there. And
Anything to sell the
everybody
news.
Oh, yeah.
It's sad.
That is why the family pretty much stays away from the press because, well, prior experience, they like to switch things around.
Jeff has a good point. How about the fact that that video was supposedly done 3 years before, yet she looked exactly the same when they took the picture of her by the RAV4?
I didn't think about that.
I never thought about that either.
I bet you a lot of people did.
Wow.
She does kind of look almost exactly.
Same exact
And that's
haircut.
pretty odd. I mean,
In a while.
I don't know.
In a while.
It kind of goes along with my theory that something may have happened to her that was an accident or intentional, and she was discovered
I'm just looking at the question.
and then reported missing.
I don't know.
And then the
To me,
ball rolled
that's
after.
kind of weird.
But
Because I mean, as you grow older, you change.
I hope to God we find out, because seriously, I can't stand things unresolved.
Someone keeps creating a fake Facebooks and coming and joining in. I keep trying to block, but I can't keep up. I can't delete. I don't. If you can delete the comments, that would be helpful. But
It was a video diary, according to somebody. She read an interview with Mike Hallbuck that it was a video diary she kept over 3 years, not a school project.
A video diary.
I blocked it. I don't know. You might sort of just see the comments.
I mean, I suppose. I mean, it depends. I mean, she was a photographer,
No, I
so
can't
maybe that
see
was
it.
something that interested her. I don't know. It's just. It is kind of creepy.
It might have deleted it once I blocked.
There's a few people that would like to buy Steven a drink.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I wanna
You
buy
and me
Brendan's
both.
First drink. Steven is-
Um,
Do you know how bad it would be?
There's-
It would really be nice to be able
I
to
suppose
smuggle
Brendan
in a
hasn't even had
nice
his first
juicy
step
steak for
alcohol.
him.
Yeah.
And Steven really wasn't a drinker
No.
when he was out.
I think
I
I've only
noticed that.
seen him probably
But he didn't
drink
smoke
a
either.
beer once in a great while.
Oh, we got him some of that cherry bounce out by us for Christmas.
Yeah, that we did. But yeah, he doesn't drink much.
Now, I know this is an odd-off question. I don't know if anyone knows this. Weird, but now, how is it gonna? Does Steven have to reapply for his license if he gets out?
Yep.
And so Brendan's gonna have to go from. See, like, why don't they work on that with him in prison? I wish they would. Like, that's the stuff they needed to.
Yeah, so that's one of the first
You know
things
what?
he said he'll do too is get his license.
Yeah, 'cause
Steven did or Brendan?
Steven.
his
Because his truck's
in.
in storage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are in Coon Rapids, Minnesota. Erica.
Minnesota.
Megan's representing.
Oh, that Megan.
Little Megan.
Yeah, whatever.
Little Megan.
I hurt my neck. I stepped on it wrong, so I'm trying to check on my kids, and I look like I feel like I have whiplash.
Considering how your life must have been affected by the events, what do you value most? How has your perception changed?
How's what?
How has your perception changed?
So, sounds like a essay topic.
Right?
Pertaining to what?
How has your perception changed of life since this aired?
What do you value most?
What do you value most?
The little time I have with my family. Just kidding. Look at him look like, what time is that?
Yeah.
I'm making supper and I'll be.
About 5 minutes before I go to sleep.
Right?
You at least get fed before 10. It's been late supper.
Had to think.
Here, honey, here's the easy
See,
math.
I only live like not even internet in my life, and my kids, they're like, what are we having for dinner? I'm like, it's breakfast for dinner, and they automatically think that means like pancakes and stuff, and I'm like, no, cereal. Go ahead, grab the box. That's what's for dinner tonight.
And I'm looking for the mac and cheese and the ramen noodles and yeah. He's been on a slim diet lately.
Well,
I did make spare ribs and carrots and potatoes. Day before.
Nice.
That was a treat.
I apologize for the noise. The lobby's filling up with a few people. Just hang in there. If it gets to be too loud, tell us.
Part of that question would be that you when you look at some of the stuff that took place, it wisens you up to the rights that your kids have,
Right?
and as you as a parent have when it comes to police questioning your kids.
Right.
That's probably the most scariest freaking thing I've ever seen in my life.
I think that was one of the first things that I did after I watched this documentary is I sat my 14-year-old down and I said, look, buddy, if anybody wants to talk to you, I don't care if they say we're your friend, you're not in trouble, it's only going to take a few minutes. You know, I don't care what they say to get you to talk. You ask for me or you ask for an attorney immediately.
Well, growing up, we had a good system where you had to have a password. If a grown-up wanted to talk to you, they had to have a password that parents would give them. So if they didn't have the password, no matter if it was a police officer or what, you don't go with them, you don't say anything until they have that password. So if you were getting questions and you're like, okay, if they said, your mom said that I could talk to you, and they're like, all right, well, then what's the password then? If they don't know it, then that's a good indicator that they don't have permission from your parents to talk to you.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, that's a pretty good idea.
What would your password be?
I ain't gonna tell you.
Bazinga!
No, that was probably the most shocking because, I mean, when your kids want to do anything, they have to have their parents' permission or their signature. Even a lot of your schools now, if you want to take your kid out of school, you have to sign for it.
Oh, yeah. And you can't even go on the property unless you sign into the office and you put a visitor's thing on it.
Okay, but
and
a police officer can walk in there and grab your kid and take off without even being notified.
Right.
That
And the
just blows me away.
The principal can go to the classroom and pull the kid out and say, you have to talk to these people? And the kid was on an IEP, which means he has a specialist there that represents his best interest, at least academically.
Right.
And they didn't even contact that person to say,
that's what
because that
blows me away.
person would have been more aware of what Brendan can understand and what he can't understand, and they didn't even contact that person.
No, and it just blows me away that they can do that. I mean, what? God forbid that the cop would be actually a creeper. You know.
Okay, somebody's talking about Reddit. Okay, yes, I do the Facebook, I do the Twitter, and I tempt the Reddit. I know about somewhat of a takeover of the Making a Murderer Reddit page. I've been actually trying to talk with the Reddit people itself through email. I do have one person in particular trying to work on that too. We're trying to do what we can to get it back to the right hands. It's a fight, but yes, I'm multi-talented and we're trying to get that back too. That's all I can really say about it. Like I said, I try not to be too much on Reddit. I'm still new to that, but
I rarely. I mean, unless I absolutely need to respond to something, I will read a lot of Reddit because that's where a lot of information has come from. The back when I did, most of the looking into it and researching it. I mean, I connected a lot of dots using one Reddit post to the next Reddit post, but I didn't start interacting on Reddit until last month when things got ugly.
I'm just barely on there.
There's some awful things that were said that needed to be corrected.
Oh yeah. I got some posts removed and whatever, but like I said, I am trying to get that right in the back hands.
And Sherry says, speak up. No.
Fighting with Reddit, but I'll continue to try to do that because I know it's got to get back. That's all I can really say. I'm trying to do what I can, even though I'm not as active as I am there.
I gotta say,
I need a cape.
She's
You wanna borrow
amazing.
mine?
Right.
My Superman one?
She puts up with a lot of crap. I've seen this. Carla and I have spoken in one way or another daily, and that's not even a lie, for 7 months. We're either communicating on Facebook, we're communicating private messages, or we're calling each other. And the amount of work that she puts into this is insane. The amount of time that she puts into it. She's not seeking any attention because, as everybody knows, she's relatively quiet. She doesn't really answer questions unless she's asked. She's not out there posting a bunch of stuff, but she is fielding every single amount of support and hate that this family gets, and she's been doing it for 7 months. So I have a real big problem with people that have anything bad to say about her, even if it comes from some of her family, because I've seen it firsthand, and I'm comfortable saying that her heart is of gold, and she's in it for the right reasons, and she does deserve a medal and a cape, and she'd look pretty hot in a cape. I'm just saying. And a crown. Maybe not a crown. I just saw her working on a car. The crown and the dirt combined might not work.
Hey,
But that's my piece on it, and if anybody had any questions, they can certainly ask, but You're not going to hear anything but positive from me because she's amazing.
Ask
Joe.
my husband. He asked me when I can pencil him in. Seriously.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Look at him. Where's your sad face? So nobody wants this over more than Steven, Brennan, and Stacy because he would like his wife
I
back.
would like my wife back sometime soon. That's why I can't wait till Zellner comes out. 'Cause I'm sick of it already. Besides that, damn it, I need a party.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll bring the keg, okay?
And of course, I will still be here after the guy's released. I'll try to keep stuff updated, and I'll even attempt to show Steven how it's done. He's already talking about starting him up a page or a Facebook profile, and yeah, it's gonna be something else. He said he might need a few weeks to deal with it and adjust and figure things out.
Then everybody can overwhelm him for once.
Yeah.
Then he'll tell me to go take it over again.
We can't do this.
And yes, I was asked by the family back in December, and I will not walk away. I've been here through HELL and back many times along with my admins and everything else.
Well, Maggie dear, we scheduled this biatch for 3 hours.
Yeah,
I don't
just
think
did
we're
that
going to
to
sit
be
here.
generous to time.
So I think what we probably should do, because the lobby is filling up with people, and it's getting a little noisy in here, is you got about 5-10 minutes to come up with your last questions before we need to shut her down.
Otherwise, why don't we take a half-hour break?
You have to take a half-hour break. We're polling, guys. Half-hour break and then come back and discuss some more. Anybody?
Maybe in your quiet hotel room.
Yeah.
We can go to mine. Mine's got.
See, the problem is,
Mine's got.
Beverages. Ice cold beverages.
Oh, that's what we'll do.
Ice cold
We'll take an
beverages.
hour break and come back loaded.
Half an hour break. Give us 30 minutes and then we'll recap.
Just give me enough time to down 11 Angry Orchards and I'll be back.
I don't know where they're talking about booze. I'm not even old enough to drink. I don't know what this is.
yeah.
I'm gonna go sip on my apple cider and pickle. Does the pickle leave it?
Pickle. We'll pronounce it pickle because asked me to follow me on my Facebook page. Not sure what he's asking, if it's page or my profile.
He's probably asking for your profile.
Twitter. My profile, you can follow me. I do let some stuff open. I actually not accepting many friend requests. I gotta be very careful on who I accept. And it's usually full anyway. Yes, Facebook's got a limit. But you can scroll what I have open and available and follow. Twitter. My Twitter handle is at Aver Dassey. I don't know if you guys heard that, at Aver Dassey.
At Avery Dassey's Twitter handle. Just call it a chase on Facebook.
Yeah. But it was just like it's a picture of me and my husband. I got a red shirt on, kneeling next to him. But yeah, why don't we take a half-hour break? We'll come back probably from one of the hotel rooms. So
So start thinking of some good questions.
Think up some good questions, post them on that thread or on this one if you'd like to, and we'll get back to them. I see Carrie's question. I see Jennifer's question. I see David. I see a few of other ones, so we will address those when we come back. All right, guys.
Peace out.
See you. Peace out.
I can bring in some car fresh.